I understand the next call is a split call. Jan Logie, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Green Party feels compelled to support this bill, the Taxation, Kiwisaver, Homestart and Remedial Matters Bill. Not because we think this bill is adequate or even necessarily sensible, but we do feel compelled to support it because things are just so bad that even token measures seem necessary, the least we can do. This bill will enable people who are currently eligible to use their Kiwisaver savings towards a deposit for their first home to also use the $521 member tax credit for each year that they've contributed to the scheme. And I'll mostly speak about that, but I also do want to mention the other aspect of this bill, which, and I will quote the commentary from the bill, would correct errors in the tax, social policy and Kiwisaver treatment of income replacement payments made to veterans under the Veterans Support Act 2014. Correct errors from 2014. To be honest, I'm losing count of the number of times I've been in this House speaking on legislation that seems to be fixing recent mistakes. Government, your masquerade of competence is slipping. And I'm sure the members of the public in New Zealand are increasingly seeing the incompetence that underlies it. But to get to the main aspect, back to the main aspects of this bill. Last week, as my colleague has said, the Minister said there is no housing crisis in New Zealand, and it does seem reminiscent of that Blam 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 song, there is no depression in New Zealand. To be hearing that there are no sheep in this country, no cows, we have no housing crisis. While we have the lowest rates of home ownership since 1951, and when the average median house sale price in Auckland last year was $621,800, $621,800 for the average median house price last year in Auckland, while the median household income for Aucklanders aged 20 to 34 was just $48,600. And I think it's important to particularly focus on young people in this debate because it has been pointed out, I think many times in the public, that we are now facing the first generation post-colonisation who are likely to be worse off than their parents. So much for aspiration, so much for the drive for people to provide something more for their children. What successive governments have provided for the young people of this country is less opportunity, is more debt and more struggle. And while we're looking at a 20% deposit on that average house price in Auckland, requiring $124,360 as a deposit in Auckland on a salary of $48,600, as the household income, we realise just how out of reach it has become. And what this bill will provide with that extra $521, assuming a young person has been a member of Kiwisaver from its inception in 2007, the most they're likely to have by the time this bill comes in is an extra $4,168 towards that deposit of $124,360. Come on. Is this really the best we can do as a country?
Sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.